Many traveling circuses in the 80s and 90s saw humans with physical deformities as a way to make a quick buck. Spectators would flock to see these sideshows as these humans with, you can say, special appearances were marketed as freaks. While most of these spectacles didn't get what we call respect or human rights, some did manage to make a name for themselves that is carried on even today. Let's dive into the fascinating tales of 15 circus freak legends who denied the limits society tried to place on them and carved their names into the annals of history. Number 15. Martin Lorello, the human owl. Most of us have trouble just cracking our necks in the morning, but Martin, he took flexibility to a whole new, downright creepy level. Known as the human owl, Lorello could rotate his head 180 degrees. Born in Germany in 1886, he realized early on that his unusual talent could do more than just freak out his friends. It could make him famous. By his 20s, he was performing across Europe, wowing crowds with his neck-defying act. When he hit the US in 1921, Lorello became a staple of major sideshows, including Ringling Brothers and Coney Island. But Lorello wasn't just a one-trick pony. His shows often featured other oddities like Popeye Perry, who could pop his eyeballs out of their sockets, and Junior Styles, a 7-year-old lobster boy. Together, they created a spectacle so bizarre you couldn't look away. His last recorded appearance was on the show You Asked For It on March 24, 1952, and in 1955, at the age of 70, he died from a heart attack. His legacy still lives on as one of the most memorable circus freaks of all time. Number 14. Schlitzie, the last of the Aztecs. Schlitzie Surtees is perhaps the most famous sideshow performer, immortalized in the 1932 cult classic film Freaks, and inspiring the comic book character Zippy the Pinhead. Born with microcephaly, a condition that left him with a small skull and severe mental disabilities, Schlitzie became a beloved yet controversial figure in sideshow history. Often billed as female, he wore loose-fitting dresses for practical reasons. Schlitzie could only speak in short phrases, but had a unique charm that captivated audiences. He was adored by his fellow performers, who cared for him like family. After a stint in a Los Angeles hospital, the staff realized that Schlitzie thrived most in the sideshow environment, where he performed for another decade. During retirement, Schlitzie could be found feeding ducks and pigeons at MacArthur Park, where he was still a natural entertainer. His life wasn't without tragedy, but Schlitzie's enduring legacy proves that even the most misunderstood individuals can leave an unforgettable mark on the world. Number 13. Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man. Joseph Merrick, known as the Elephant Man, lived a life so extraordinary that it inspired a Tony Award-winning play and an Oscar-nominated film. Born in Leicester, England, Merrick's severe deformities began to appear during childhood. By the age of 11, he lost his mother, who had been his only source of comfort. His father and stepmother weren't exactly parent of the year material, leaving Merrick to fend for himself. Unable to hold down regular work, he joined a freak show under the stage name The Elephant Man. His appearance shocked and intrigued Victorian London, but his story took a heartwarming turn when he befriended Dr. Frederick Trevis, a surgeon who became his caretaker and champion. Merrick even became a darling of London society, receiving visits from the likes of Princess Alexandra. Tragically, Merrick passed in 1890 at just 27 years old when he attempted to sleep lying down, a heartbreaking reminder of his physical challenges. Number 12. Miran Dejo, the human pincushion. Miran Dejo's claim to fame was as sharp as it gets. He could pierce his body with swords and other pointy objects without, well, dying. Dubbed the human pincushion, Dejo believed his unusual talent was proof of spiritual enlightenment. While most people avoid stepping on a Lego, Dejo casually shoved screwdrivers and needles through himself like it was no big deal. Doctors examined him extensively, even X-raying him with swords lodged in his torso, but no one could figure out how he survived. Modern researchers speculate that he created fistulas, scar tunnels, over time to avoid hitting vital organs. A talent that's equal parts horrifying and fascinating. Dajo's career ended in 1948 in the most bizarre way possible. He swallowed a steel needle as part of his act, leading to an aortic rupture. Whether it was the needle or post-surgery complications, his death remains as mysterious as his act. Talk about living and dying on the edge. Number 11. Bill Dirks, the Three-Eyed Man. Bill Dirks didn't actually have a third eye, but thanks to a facial birth defect that left a deep divot in the middle of his face, he turned a quirk of nature into a career. To complete the illusion, Bill would paint a fake eyeball in the divot, which made him look like a mystical, all-seeing oracle, or at least someone who might give you a solid side eye. Rejected by his family and community, a sad but common theme in sideshow lore, Bill was painfully shy and socially awkward. However, his life took a dramatic turn when he joined a sideshow in his teens. While he couldn't read and was often exploited, Bill finally found a place where people not only accepted him, but paid to see him. Talk about life giving you lemons and turning them into a lemonade stand with a cover charge. Later in life, he married Mildred, the alligator-skinned woman. Together, they were billed as the world's strangest married couple, a title that probably raised more eyebrows than Bill's fake third eye. Number 10. Prince Randian, the living torso. If there were a gold medal for turning limitations into jaw-dropping talent, Prince Randian would have won it 1,000 times over. Born in British Guyana in 1871 with tetra amelia syndrome, a rare condition that left him without arms or legs, Randian defied every expectation society had for him, and then some. Brought to the U.S. by none other than P.T. Barnum, Prince Randian wasn't just a performer. He was a human Swiss Army knife. He could paint, write, shave, eat, and most famously, roll, light, and smoke a cigarette, all without a single limb. He even showcased this skill in the 1932 film Freaks. And as if that weren't impressive enough, Randian spoke 4 languages: Hindi, English, French, and German. Let's face it, most of us are still struggling with one. Moving around the stage by wiggling his hips and shoulders, he captivated audiences with his resilience and talent, proving that nothing, not even the absence of limbs, could hold him back. 9. Ella Harper, the Camel Girl. Ella Harper had a unique pitch card that said it all. I am called the Camel Girl because my knees turn backward. Yep, you read that right. Thanks to a rare condition, Ella's knees bent in reverse, making walking on her hands and feet her most comfortable option. Born in 1870, Ella spent several years in the sideshow business, captivating audiences with her unusual gait and gentle demeanor. However, she was more than just a performer. By 1886, Ella had decided to leave the circus and pursue an education, planning to transition into a more conventional career. Her condition, while fascinating, was likely challenging, but Ella's determination to carve out a life beyond the sideshow world proves she had ambition as unique as her legs. Number 8. General Tom Thumb. Charles Sherwood Stratton, better known as General Tom Thumb, stopped growing at 6 months old, remaining just 25 inches tall for much of his early life. But what he lacked in height, he made up for in charisma. By the age of 5, he was discovered by P.T. Barnum, who turned him into a global sensation. Tom's act was a delightful mix of singing, dancing, joke-telling, and celebrity impersonations. Imagine a pint-sized Abraham Lincoln cracking jokes. It's no wonder people loved him. He toured Europe, met Queen Victoria, charmed President Abraham Lincoln, and even shared laughs with the future King Edward VII. Basically, Tom Thumb lived a life more glamorous than most of us can dream of. In 1863, he married Lavinia Warren, another little person, in what was dubbed the wedding of the century. Their union drew thousands of curious onlookers and cemented Tom Thumb's place as one of the most beloved performers of his time. When he passed at age 45, the cause of his small stature remained a mystery. Number 7. Stefan Bobrowski, the lion-faced man. Stefan Bobrowski, born in 1891 in modern-day Poland, didn't just stand out, he roared. Born with hypertrichosis, a rare condition that covered his face and body in thick hair, Stefan's mother believed his appearance was a curse, supposedly caused by witnessing his father's fatal encounter with a lion while pregnant. Talk about carrying family drama on your face. Given away to a German entertainer, Stefan was rebranded as Lionel the Lion-Faced Man. But unlike his wild moniker, Stefan was known for being a gentle, kind soul. Fluent in 5 languages, he would often charm audiences by simply chatting with them. While most sideshow acts thrived on spectacle, Stefan's intellect and charisma made him unforgettable. By his 30s, he was so successful that he retired comfortably in Europe. Sadly, Stefan passed away at 41 from a heart attack, but his legacy as the world's most intellectual lion lives on. Number 6. Chang and Eng Bunker, the original Siamese twins. Chang and Eng Bunker were more than just the original Siamese twins. They were pioneers in proving that extraordinary people could live extraordinary lives. Born in Siam, modern Thailand, in 1811, the conjoined twins were connected at the chest by a small band of cartilage. At the time, separating them was considered impossible, but today, it'd be a straightforward surgery, if only 19th century doctors had Google. After a promoter whisked them away on a world tour, Chang and Eng became international sensations, eventually settling in North Carolina. Determined to live normal lives, they married sisters Adelaide and Sarah Yates. Together, they had a jaw-dropping 21 children. Imagine explaining that family tree at a reunion. While they thrived in their unique way, tragedy struck when Chang suffered a stroke. He passed in 1874, and just 2 hours later, Eng followed him, proving they were inseparable in every sense of the word. Number 5. Francesco Lentini, the three-legged man. Francesco Lentini wasn't just extraordinary, he was extraordinary. Born in Sicily in 1881 with a fully developed third leg and even an extra set of toes, Francesco's condition was the result of an incomplete twin. His parents, unsure how to cope, brought him to America, where he struggled with his identity as a child. A pivotal moment came at a school for disabled children, where Francesco saw others with challenges he deemed far worse than his own. This perspective shift became the foundation of his sideshow career. From kicking soccer balls with his third leg to performing jaw-dropping feats like jumping rope, Francesco became a beloved star of the circus world. Respected among his peers and admired for his resilience, Francesco proved that embracing your uniqueness can lead to an extraordinary life. Number 4. Annie Jones, the bearded lady. Annie Jones wasn't just the bearded lady. She was a trailblazer who turned a genetic anomaly into stardom. Born in Virginia in 1865, Annie's excessive facial hair led her to P.T. Barnum's museum as a child, where she quickly became one of his top attractions. By the age of 5, Barnum offered her parents $150 a week, a small fortune, to feature her in his sideshows. Annie wasn't just a spectacle, she was also an accomplished musician who charmed audiences with her talent. Her life wasn't without drama, though. She was once kidnapped by a New York phrenologist who attempted to exhibit her as his own child. Luckily, the court sided with Annie's parents, and she was safely reunited with her family. Despite the wild world of circus life, Annie managed to carve out her own path. She married twice, but her life was cut short when she passed away from tuberculosis in 1902 at just 37 years old. Her story is one of resilience and grace in the face of spectacle. Number 3. Isaac W. Sprague, The Human Skeleton. Isaac W. Sprague started life like any other child, but by the age of 12, his story took a bizarre turn. A mysterious illness began consuming his body, and no matter how much he ate, his weight plummeted. By adulthood, Isaac weighed a mere 43 pounds, lighter than some houseplants. Unable to hold a traditional job, he found a home in the circus world, where his astonishingly thin frame earned him the title of the Human Skeleton. Sprague became one of P.T. Barnum's top attractions, touring across the country and drawing crowds who were equal parts amazed and perplexed. Despite his fame, Isaac's life wasn't easy. His fragile body required constant care, and his condition eventually took its toll. He passed at 46. Number 2. Minnie Woolsey, Cuckoo the Bird Girl. Minnie Woolsey, born in 1880, had a face and a story you couldn't forget. She lived with Seckle syndrome, a rare condition that gave her short stature, a small head, and distinctive bird-like features. Embracing the quirks that set her apart, Minnie became a sideshow star, adopting stage names like Minnie Ha Ha and the Bird Girl. Her performances combined eccentricity with charm, as she often dressed in feathered costumes and played up her avian persona. Minnie even made her mark on Hollywood, appearing in Todd Browning's 1932 cult classic Freaks. But her career didn't end there. She continued performing at Coney Island well into her 80s. Minnie's unique presence left a lasting impression, earning her a mention in Tom Waits' song Lucky Day, Overture, in 1993. Number 1. Grady Stiles, The Lobster Boy. Grady Stiles, born in 1937, was destined for the sideshow stage. Born with ectrodactyly, a condition that fused his fingers and toes into claw-like shapes, he became known as the Lobster Boy. By the age of 7, Grady was already touring the world, captivating audiences with his unique appearance and charismatic personality. But Grady's story wasn't all applause and bright lights. Later in life, his temper turned deadly. He murdered his daughter's fiancée on the night before their wedding, a crime that sent shockwaves through both the sideshow community and the press. His violent past even inspired the character Jimmy Darling in American Horror Story, Freak Show. Despite his fame, Grady's legacy is as much about the darkness of his later years as it is about his sideshow success. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you very soon in the next one.